Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Buppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters going on here. We've got an awesome game, TvZ, coming up for you here today. It is going to be Scarlett up the top right side of the map. She is, of course, 20 years old, from Canada, plays for Team Acer, and we have not seen her in quite a while, and it's definitely always awesome to see her playing Zerg, so you'll be looking forward to some very strong plays in this game. Her opponent down the bottom left side of the map is Mr. Hart. He is 23 years of age, from South Korea, plays for Team Axiom, and I believe he's actually been in a couple of Hairy Bash tournaments, I think. At least one Hairy Bash tournament. So yeah, definitely quite an awesome player. I don't know if he's good as Scarlett, because Scarlett is really, really good. She definitely has the potential to beat some of the best players in the games, whereas Hart, not sure. I haven't really got enough experience casting Hart to say how good he is, but we will just have to go ahead and see whether he can hold up against Scarlett in this game, or whether he can just completely own her. I don't know. I mean, anything is possible. So let's go check it out. It's actually, this game, I don't know. I mean, even if it's really exciting, it's kind of going to be slow for me, because I've been watching the World Cup for the past few days. I've got just been watching it, you know, not live, just sort of taping it and then just watching the games afterwards. And yeah, so a lot of excitement going on. So even Starcraft 2, I gotta say, is not quite as fast as the World Cup. I mean, alright, at the end of the game where everybody's going nuts, yeah, kind of, but at the start of the game it's just, yeah. So anyway, still exciting, still lots of fun, still going to be casting one of these every single day, which is going to be awesome. We do have a factory barracks with reactor coming down in the expansion. All very standard stuff from Mr. Hart. Reaper coming out. And I thought I was following this guy. There we go. We've got Ling Speed coming out for Scarlett. Looking like she's probably going to be heading for the Mutiling, which we know she absolutely loves that combination. And potentially a fairly early third base as well. But obviously want to get enough Lings to scare off any early Marine pushes or anything crazy like that Hart might decide to do. Although I don't think it's a very major possibility. I mean, the main thing is probably going to be Hellions to come out. So she's getting a couple of queens. She's got 2 queens with a third on the way. This Reaper, man, gets stuck on the corner there. This little corner, there was a Ling trapping it, so it couldn't just jump around this little edge thing here, and did get trapped, and then the queen finished it off. So very, very unfortunate, but there you go. First 2 Hellions are out. We will see whether he pushes just 2 of them straight out, or whether he waits for a bit more. Looks like these guys are going out, at least for scouting at the start. The 3 Lings are going to run into them, and the Lings are probably going to get destroyed without really seeing anything. They do shoot off to the third base location, and Hart is going to sort of sit back and just watch those Lings, because he does not have a full gate over here, so it's definitely a better use of those Hellions to watch for the Lings, at least for now, just to make sure they don't get in there and start causing havoc with the workers. But once this gate really starts being knocked up fully, then Hart can sort of sit back, send the Hellions wherever he wants. First Ling coming on back, does get roasted straight away. Scarlett getting the third base, is about halfway done. Her worker count's starting to look very, very impressive right there, but that's pretty much standard for Scarlett. And we do have 1-1 coming out right now, which is very good. Waiting to see a lair here, which is going to be the next thing. Usually we'll see a lair somewhere around this point. Get the lair out, get the spire out, and then it's just mutas all over the place. But she's at least getting 1-1 weapons out first for her Lings, which is very, very important. And yeah, I mean, you don't want to wait until you've got all your tech before you start getting upgrades. You want to get the upgrades as soon as you possibly can. There we go, the Lair's coming out, Baneling Nest coming out, so Scarlett going for Mutilings in a very, very big way. And yeah. So not much else going on. Hart has transitioned into full Marine production? Full Marine Marauder production. Full Triple M anyway. I would thought... Now, he's only got 2 barracks, which is the thing that is interesting. Maybe he went for a slightly earlier medevac pushing. Usually you like to get at least an extra barracks or two before you really start pushing out with the starport. And we will see. Hart definitely needs a few more barracks. He's got a nice-ish army at the moment. It's actually 44 over 17. Scarlett really running low at the moment in terms of army. She's putting everything she possibly can still into workers, but she definitely needs to start pumping out the army right now. Needs to start getting that stuff. She's only got Lings, and with 6 Hellions out the front of her base, that is going to be quite scary for her to try and deal with it. There we go. The Banelings coming in. No Baneling speed, unfortunately, which is going to be another downside. Hart doing a nice job getting rid of the creep. The Spire is on its way, but with this many Marines, I don't think Mutas are going to help her anyway. She needs a lot of Banelings to be able to move out here. She needs a massive amount of Lings, really, to trap these guys. I mean, Hellions are not too bad, but I think if Scarlett just had a million Lings, she could surround them. She could kit with the Banelings. That's what she's trying to do. Get the Lings to stop these guys from running away. Allow the Banelings time to get in there and do the damage they need to do. But it's not quite happening. Hart making sure he stays away from that death hug that the Lings and the Banelings like to do. The Lings wrap around and hug you, and then the Banelings come in and finish you off. So, doing a pretty good job. Not doing a terribly large amount of damage. There's still 6 workers have died, which is, you know, it's not a small amount of workers. Got another force over there just waiting to hop in a dropship and pull over. Scarlett with built a massive amount of Lings, so she's probably on par, almost on par with Hart's army at the moment. And at the same time, she's creeping all over the 3rd and 4th bases, so she's definitely ahead of the game as far as the expansions are concerned. Should be right there. These guys just keep on coming back. It's way too tough for Scarlett to be jumping up that ramp to actually sort of take these guys out. Knocking the creep back. Very, very nice job from Hart. These guys still sort of sitting back, not really doing much, sort of feinting forward every now and then to try and pull Scarlett out to allow the other force to really get stuff done. Now, they're in a great position right now. If they hold this, then Scarlett is just going to get completely destroyed trying to take them out. And meanwhile, this army just isn't too much of a threat until they're right on the ramp. So, and she definitely does not want to go all over the place trying to find her. Actually, very, very nice here from Scarlett. Anticipated the army coming in, had the Overlord waiting for it, and did come in and almost caught them by surprise, but they did manage to pull back. Meanwhile, the Marines coming in, a very, very large group of Marines coming in here. They're using this gap to their advantage and should be able to do a fair amount of damage here. Almost taking out the Spine Crawler. The Banelings coming in, forcing the lift off. And meanwhile, Hart comes back, but Scarlett has already taken the workers away from that position. The Queen's now going in, almost kill a Hellion, but still just scaring it off. And Hart not losing a ton, not really killing a ton. It's been pretty much even from both players. Hart is actually caught up on the worker numbers as well, so doing a really, really good job. We're up to 11 workers lost for Miss Scarlett at the moment. And yeah, she's been taking a few hits, but she has bought herself time to get the Mutas out. She's getting an infestation pit as well. I don't know what she's going to be doing with that, but the Mutas are going to be able to start sniping medevacs at the moment, start sniping Hellions if they get too far away from the Marines, and just doing all sorts of other fun stuff. But at the same time, Hart does have his Widow Mine army starting to get out there. If he gets some good hits off with the Widow Mines, he can turn this around very, very, very fast. So we'll see exactly what happens here. A ton of creep really pushed out there. Scarlett really pushing back on the creep spread. And she definitely needs to, because the creep has been knocked back quite a bit from Hart. And she hasn't really been able to get that much. Here we go. We're going to see a scan come down here. I mean, Hart has no choice but to kill this creep ASAP. Although, he's just leaving Widow Mines up there. Doesn't want to kill the creep, which is interesting. Oh, the Widow Mines. Oh, not really getting too many hits off the Banelings. Oh, that was a bad hit. That was a very, very nasty hit. Scarlett losing quite a lot there to those Widow Mines. Not critical hits, but still a very decent amount of her forces did just go down to a bunch of stupid Widow Mines, and I'm sure she is not happy at all about that. Oh, that's the caps lock. It makes a weird noise on my keyboard. But Hart, you can see, pushing ahead here on the armed forces. Worker numbers are still pretty even, so Hart slowly taking the advantage here. Not losing a lot, but that nice hit from the Widow Mines started to see him in the lead. And if he continues to push out here, then he could start to be very, very scary. Scarlett continuing to push out with a ton of mutas, ton of banelings. And here's the main army out here, and all it's going to take is a few good baneling hits, and Scarlett will be back in this game. But for now, oh, excuse me. I don't know. I feel like the Marines just have the numbers right here. I feel like Hart just has the numbers. He's getting a lot of good stuff going. 2-2 nearly done. Scarlett does already have 2-2, of course. And here we go. The banelings coming in, going for it. Off the creep, not getting nearly enough damage done. They did a fair amount, but not nearly enough to put Scarlett on even footing. She is still quite far behind in this game, and at this point, I just don't know. I mean, unless she catches Hart fully on creep and manages to just own him with banelings, I don't think it's going to happen. This is a fairly good opportunity. They're really, really far onto the creep. The banelings going in, doing a fairly decent amount of damage. Quite a fairly decent amount of damage. Muta's trying to attack the medevacs, so there's just too many medevacs. And that was pretty good from Scarlett. She's, it's kind of a holding on move though. It's not really a knocking Hart back. It's definitely buying her time. However, these guys continuing to push in. And it may just be all over at this point. She's lost her 4th base. If she loses one more base, she is definitely, unquestionably going to lose this game. But here we go. We've got the forces moving in. On creep, the banelings going around. They see a huge bunch of marauders. They're going to roll around those, try to find some sweeter targets. But there's not all that many sweeter targets right here. The marauders, actually, I think the mutas are trying to snipe the marauders right here. But it's just not enough. And Scarlett finally does give the GG right there. And I gotta say, Hart, man, doing a fantastic job getting the worker numbers up. Did he have like a 4th base somewhere he was using just to build workers? No. But he did get those worker numbers up nice and fast. He got a beautiful attack over here with the Hellions and the Marines. And Scarlett just could not close the deal with her Mutaling. So it was a very, very effective strategy against Mutaling. If it was against Roaches, Hart would have got owned with Hellions and Marines. He would have got absolutely slaughtered. But against Mutaling, very, very, very decent tactic. So Hart obviously guessing correctly that Scarlett was going for Mutaling. And I mean, she does love that tactic. And it may, her love of that tactic may have worked against her, because that early force that Hart did so well with, Marine Hellion, was specifically engineered to counter Mutaling. And I think if Scarlett had gone for Roaches, she would have been able to do a lot more with the same income that she had. But what can you do? There we go. Hart has taken a victory in this game. And yeah, he's quite an awesome player. So thank you very much for watching this game. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you guys tomorrow with another one. So stay tuned for that.